Julia Spencer is a real estate investor with over 25 years' experience who owns multiple investment properties. She's a single mother of two who moved to the U.S. in 1993 with only $20 in her pocket. She currently holds an MBA. Julia Spencer is neither a realtor nor an attorney, and the contents of this recording are only her opinions. Get her free guide to investing at juliamspencer.com. I'm your host, Dr. Steve G. Jones, multimillionaire and hypnotherapist. My website is stevegjones.com. Make more money with tax sale investing. Module 6, Due Diligence, Part 1, with Julia M. Spencer.
Hello, and welcome to my newest module on my newest tax sale foreclosure audiobook. This is a follow-on audiobook from the previous one that I've published that kind of tells you about how to get into tax sale foreclosure investing, how to make money with it, how to become profitable, and how to get consistent and good returns every time you do it. So in this particular module, we're going to be talking about due diligence. What is due diligence and how do you do it? And why do you even need it? So let's talk a little bit about due diligence. Whenever you go to a tax sale foreclosure auction or any kind of foreclosure auction, they tell you to perform due diligence. And I've made a number of YouTube videos on this, by the way, that you can look at and watch for free. Go to my YouTube channel. It's just my name, juliamspencer.com. M stands for money. You can go to the YouTube channel and just listen to some of the stuff that I have to say there. But I wanted to give you a little bit better overview in this audiobook, since this is more the condensed version of what you need to do, of what it means to do proper due diligence and how to do it step by step. That way, when you go to an auction, there's no more surprises, that you know exactly what you're bidding on, you know exactly whether or not the price that you're paying is a good value or not. And you have basically turned over all the leaves to make sure that nothing was missed, and you're not standing at the end with a property that you may own that gives you a couple of really unpleasant surprises. So whenever they talk about due diligence, that just means that you need to beware when you go to a foreclosure sale, and whatever you purchase there is basically, it's on your own, whether it has liens, it has weed liens, or it has an IRS lien, or a lien by a contractor. All those things are your responsibility to research, find out, and track down before you bid, because for some of those liens in some states, you actually are responsible to pay those liens. They do not go away during the auction. And so basically, due diligence just means that you need to do your due research before you embark or bid on a property. And the reason the taxing authorities or the auctioning authorities tell you that you need definitely perform your due diligence is because they don't want to auction off these properties and at the end not get the payment for them, because the winning bidder decides that, oh, hey, there's a lien on it and I didn't know that when I bid on it, and I'm not going to pay for it. And so that's going to be a really bad thing for the person that bid on it, and it's also bad for the taxing authority. And actually, during the most recent auction that I went to, I did ask the tax commissioner representatives there what happens to the people that bid on properties and that win them, but then never show up to pay for them by the required date or time. And usually it's the same day at a different time. So when there's an auction that happens between the legal hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., they usually will require for you to make the payment by 2 p.m. And that is basically, well, that's in my county the way it works, but in some other counties you actually have an extra day or 2 days, but you need to check up on that before you bid. And that is actually also part of due diligence, that you understand that you have to make that payment in their required form by a certain amount of time, or else you're not going to be declared as a winning bidder, and your name and address and your registration details that you've signed up with at the auction will be turned over to the county attorney, and then there's going to be some legal precautions for you that you have to deal with in case you don't perform the duties that you have to perform once you're the winning bidder. Now, let's say that's not going to be a problem for you because you win the property and you're going to pay for it, no issue. And then you discover there's a problem. And in my previous modules, I did talk a little bit about some of the good, bad, and the ugly, and some of the things that can happen, how you can avoid them. But how do you actually do the research to find out if there's going to be problems in the future? How do you do that? And what is the process for that? Now, I'm a really big fan of processes and steps. So this particular module, and it's going to probably go into the next module if we can't finish it in this module. But in this particular module, I'm going to tell you about my personal 6-step process to do proper due diligence. Now, every investor is going to tell you their own process and their own way of how to do things. But my process is like this. It's very thorough. It has worked for me well over the years. And this is also what I teach whenever I have people that I consult. By the way, on my website, juliamspencer.com, there's still a tab there for phone sessions. That's basically one-on-one tutoring that I give you. And this is some of the advice that I give the people there. And we're going to do it specifically for your area, for your county where you're trying to invest. And some of the things that I teach is basically how to do the step-by-step process of due diligence to make sure that the property you buy is actually what you're trying to buy and what you want to buy. So let's talk a little bit about this process. And I say there's 6 steps. There could be more steps, but these are like the basic 6 steps that I usually talk about and that I usually perform myself. So the very first thing, and I kind of do this in order as well, because you kind of have to do this in order. Because what happens is at each step, you might be eliminating certain properties. And so at the end, you come up with this list of much fewer properties than are maybe on your auction list. And those are the ones that you want to concentrate on because the rest of them fell off through elimination by going through your due diligence process steps. So the first step is to find...
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.